Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to another edition of the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. Um, as often happens, when you go ahead and play a venue like this with many, many storytellers and many, many different ideas, sometimes things just go ahead and fall out. Sometimes you get the random dice, and sometimes the storyteller just goes ahead and pats you on the shoulder and says, I need to talk to you. This is not one of those scenes, but could definitely turn into something a little bit more. We go ahead and here's the scene. Between the Sept and dear old Kelly Krikos's little bungalow, little Heidio, little away home, there happens to be a delightful little Starbucks that, oh, dear old Lucas Matthews over here, who is starting to change names like people change underwear, has decided to go ahead and frequent more often than not. And he's done it so much that the barista over there knows exactly what he wants. It's usually a very interesting drink, sweet, bitter, sugar, sour, whatever have you, little bit of chocolate, little bit of mocha, whatever have you. It's within this particular Starbucks that he is going ahead and taking a little break, looking at his sketchbook, drawing a little bit, looking at different subjects that are clear and dear to his heart, different subjects that just seem rather mundane. And, well, today he has decided to break open a textbook as well, because, hey, the finals are coming, final exams are definitely fast approaching, and now he has a little bit more time and is a little bit less stressed to actually go ahead and study for a little bit. And being the hipster that he is, and absolutely needing the attention of every single person around him just to go ahead and showcase how artsy and fartsy and intelligent he is, being the hipster that he is, has decided that the Starbucks is obviously the best place to study. Meanwhile, a little bit further on, we go ahead and see another actor, or actress, actually. We see Maeve MacFionn, after narrowing quite a adventure from what people go ahead and tell me, and is returning to the city from wherever she happened to be. And we go ahead and enter the scene quite properly with, well, what is Maeve doing at the moment?
Maeve is perhaps not quite as chipper as usual, but she's trotting along. Her stride is probably lengthened to keep up with the guardian at her side, and she's huddled into her sweater, huddled into her scarf, and perhaps walking just a little bit off. Not enough to be a serious point of contention or something that everyone might spot, but she's she's wobbling just a bit, not looking as comfortable as she might, not looking as happy as she might. But hey, there's the smell of coffee. And, well, Kachina's a thoughtful guy. He probably tossed her a couple dollars to make sure she could get a cab home if she needed to. And, well, since she's walking, there is coffee. And she'll glance up at the Starbucks sign as they come nearer, and then cast a hopeful look Olaf's way.
And Olaf answers this look with an almost completely unamused expression. So, entire way up here you've been lagging behind and doing the wobble walk, and I'm guessing you want coffee.
She initially, when she gets a hard look, puts on a slightly sadder expression. It's obviously a pleading expression. And then as he miraculously guesses her desire, she'll brighten and nod briskly. Still hiding the entire lower half of her face in a scarf, mind you.
I'm gonna ask you a real simple question. Real simple. You don't have to get into details. In fact, this would be the place not to be in detail land.
Blink.
Are you in a condition to sit normally and eat and drink?
She knits her brow for half a second as though that's an odd question, and then kind of tilts her head. Yeah. Noddle, noddle, noddle.
Well then, upon our heads it be. And he leads her he even holds the door open for her to get in the Starbucks.
He gets a brilliant smile for such a chivalrous act. Well then, it is time to bounce along to the counter. She's not paying much attention because, well, she doesn't really look around off sept, because what are the chances she's going to know anybody, really? That would be silly.
Totally and
So she'll-
utterly silly.
Absolutely silly. And so, without so much as bothering, she'll just hop right in line and look ever so happy. There's great hope in her heart for sweet, sweet espresso coffee, sweet things, and whipped cream. Lots of that.
Olaf, on the other hand, while he is standing in line next to Maeve, does a quick perception alertness. 2 successes. Not sure if he notices too much.
Well, you've kind of got people in a situation where they're not being paranoid fucking jackasses. It's quite apparent. You see a lot of different students of various range, early 20-somethings. You see that aging hippie over there with the long braided hair and the big beer gut, who is currently, apparently writing a sonnet to himself, but you have no idea what's currently going through that man's giant brain that is obviously in his beard that goes ahead and trails on for like 2 or 3 feet from his chin. Besides that distracting ogre, yeah. You see somebody that's fairly familiar to you wearing an attire that is not.
And before Olaf makes any motion towards this man, in fact, he just kind of looks back to his business very, very briefly. His thumb and forefinger pinch the bridge of his nose because he knows what's probably going to happen sooner or later.
Maeve, meanwhile, is far too busy ordering a cinnamon dolce latte with extra whipped cream and extra sugar and cinnamon on top, and pretty please, big eyelash flutter, and paying for her drink.
While Maeve waits for her drink to get made, there will be a woman sort of waiting around on the by the counter as well, messing with a stray sugar packet. She already has her straw unwrapped. Oh hey, that's one of my favorites.
She, of course, is her ever chipper self, so as she hops along to wait for her drink and for Olaf to finish ordering his, she'll offer the woman a smile. I get it almost every time.
Really? You don't try anything else?
Sometimes, but I like cinnamon a lot. And the other thing, sometimes you're in the mood for caramel, and sometimes you're in the mood for chocolate, but I'm always in the mood for cinnamon.
Oh, of course. Have you ever tried the iced roasted chestnut macchiato? Probably the best thing they have here.
She blinks a couple of times and her eyes widen a bit. That's a thing?
Oh yeah, it takes them a few seconds to make it, but it's my favorite.
I'll try that next time. Sounds good.
Yeah. She smiles.
While this is going on, how long does it take Olaf's Rage 4 ass to get somebody to make him a plain cup of coffee?
Olaf will probably notice the barista has been calling on people besides him, sort of trying to subtly avoid him existing. But when she scans the building and discovers that there are no more people to go first, the barista gestures him over. What can I get you, sir?
Well, I'll have a large coffee.
Right away. Anything in it?
Oh, no, none of that stuff for me. Just a large cup of coffee.
Black?
Yes, please.
The barista will nod and get started on his drink as well.
Olaf pays for his drink. Yeah, I mean he still makes money on the weekends, you know, with his best buddies down in that garage. So it's enough that he can pay for a cup of coffee. And he then goes down to wait for said cup of coffee, which is behind perhaps some more complex orders that would break his mind if he were to truly learn of them. And sees Mabe talking to a complete stranger. He doesn't roll up aggressive. I mean, he's Olaf. He's still Olaf in spite of his instinctual ability to terrify baristas nationwide. And when he gets there, he just looks at Maeve. He's like, "Oh, well, who's your new friend here?"
And she'll glance back and very blatantly say, I have no idea. Hi, I'm Maeve. Thrust out hand.
She laughs a little bit and takes her hand. Nice to meet you. I'm Sarah. And she'll shake it.
At which point she will turn back over her shoulder to Olaf and go, in a very mock conspiratorial tone, that's Sarah.
I kind of picked up on that there, buddy.
Grin. And she'll bounce. She's not impatient per se. She's just high energy. Wait. Nope. Never mind. She's out again. That didn't take long, did it?
Yo.
Sarah will smile to both of them, and as the barista brings her drink, which looks delicious, by the way, it's mostly white with like a gradient fading into the hazelnut color. It's a very pretty drink. And she'll take it, stick a straw in it, and put it in her mouth. Well, it was nice meeting the two of you. I'll be seeing you around. And she gives them both a very polite smile and excuses herself, leaving the Starbucks. You hear the little ding on the door as she exits.
Before she exits, given that this is just this person who interacted with the Fianna princess out of the blue, is there anything Olaf can pick up with Scent of the True Form before she gets away?
If he's activating Sin of the True Form, yeah, she's Garu.
And that leaves him with a couple blinks. Because this is not a Garo he recognizes in any way, shape, or form. And apparently there was one that he felt no rage coming off of standing right in front of him. And if he hadn't bothered to use his Gaia-given gift, he wouldn't have known any better. And this bothers him.
Maeve looks up at him after she's departed and catches him blinking and looking mildly perplexed, most likely. And goes, what?
You ever hear of the phrase stranger danger, Maeve?
Well, yeah, but we just talked about coffee for like a second.
That you did.
I didn't walk off into a dark alley and climb into her truck that said free puppies.
Olaf sighs and just kind of rubs his forehead. I really gotta teach you things. Anyway, let's sit down and drink our drinks.
She will probably by now have also gotten her drink and linger to wait for Olaf to get his.
It probably takes a minute, even though the barista grudgingly accepted his order. Well, wow. That doesn't mean she has to hop to it, making the thing. But sooner or later, she's got to fill the docket. The computer demands it. And he'll get his plain coffee that probably took about as long as one of the special drinks. And join Mabe.
Well, now it's time to go hunting for a seat. And being a Starbucks, it's undoubtedly, well, never mind that, a Starbucks in New York. It is probably packed with hipsters, so a seat could be an event.
Here's the problem that's being solved by Olaf's presence.
A lot of people who are not immune to the curse find several reasons to not be here, except for one.
As tables clear off, she's like, "Oh, yay!" And without any realization of why, goes to look for a seat. And seeing as there's only one poor fucker left, will of course sneak a glance his way. She of course isn't expecting anything because that hat, though. But she will eventually sneak a curious glance his way just because he's the only other person there.
Lucas is going to go ahead and notice that a lot of people are starting to vacate the area. Wonders if this is really the opportune moment to go ahead and look up from his sketchbook. Hoping and pleading, looks up. Fuck!
Blink.
Hey! Hi!
Hey! And of course, she is going to invite herself to his table. Because that is how she do.
You go ahead and invite yourself to his table. He looks at you. Didn't want you. I mean, not that I didn't want you. I just didn't expect you here.
She shrugs. I was on my way back home.
Do you know who else invites himself to the table?
Oh, the man who has many tattoos, even all over his hands, I'm going to guess.
The Olaf between. It doesn't matter how awkward it is. It doesn't matter what he has to shift around. He'll be seated between the two of you.
They're on opposite sides of the table. How do you get between? Are you sitting on the table?
Between's
That's
a relative
exactly what
term.
he's doing.
It should be. But instead, if that's the case, he will sit in the interposed, like one of the side spaces. He's technically between them, all right?
Leaving enough room for Gaia, you go ahead and sit down. Lucas looks to you and says, "Oh, hi. How you been?"
Oh, I've been alright. I've been up to some real good works lately, real satisfying stuff out in nature, doing my thing. How about you?
I've been mostly heads down with my studying and my sketching, actually. Doing really good, actually.
She's peeking at his textbooks out of curiosity.
One of them happens to be a literature book going over some American literature about the turn of the century. The other one happens to be more chemistry-based. This particular subsection is all about subatomic molecules and how electrons jump from one energy field to the next.
She blinks and doesn't really look much further. That is already way too advanced for her.
Olaf's chief achievement, as it were, in academics, official academics, was getting a GED, and that was a pretty close shave.
Oh, wonderful. You notice that Lucas is going to go ahead and quickly pack up all the books and try to clear out the entire table so that you both have as much room as you want.
No, she's not even setting anything on the table. She's just settled and has her drink in both hands, as you do when it is cold outside, and your drink is warm.
He looks at it, looks at you holding the drink like that, and simply says, "Oh, you remind me of somebody that used to do that a lot."
Hmm? Inquisitive face.
Olaf, inquisitive face.
Miss Brennan, actually.
Blink.
Olaf, sad face.
Blink. She's at this point just kind of looking between them and getting more confused by the moment.
You hold your drink like somebody that we both knew, Miss Marin Brennan, actually.
Oh, Ren.
Mhm.
Okay, that explains the sad face.
She, good lady. You would have liked her.
Mhm.
You guys keep talking like she's dead. Everyone gets all sad all the time.
No, she's not gone. She has gone ahead and taken a trip that we didn't actually expect, and we don't expect her to be back very soon. So, you know what we should do, Olaf? We should go ahead and send her something.
We should.
Firm nod.
We should send her something to go ahead and keep her spirits up in this trying time.
I take it you've got ideas?
Absolutely not. I was hoping
well,
you would know something. I mean, we could get her a card.
there's that. I know that gift cards are apparently the hot new thing when you can't think of anything else.
Let's see. What can we get her? You know, she was like banging around with her boyfriend, but for the life of me, I never knew the guy.
Nobody likes that guy.
Okay, striking that out of my brain pan. Maybe we get her something like bird related.
You know, that would probably be a good idea. Bird related sounds good. I can think already of volumes about bird watching and diagrams and studies like that are in my very library.
Definitely something to go ahead and put into a care package. I myself was thinking about I don't know, an audio tape of different bird calls.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Like Olaf, he academically understands that this person is not dead, but you can see that he's still rather crestfallen about her absence.
Mm-hmm. There we go. We can get her something to read, something to listen to, and a nice little card that holds a lot of messages or from the rest of us. I mean, it is the holiday season, getting to be there. It's all about giving thanks to people, making sure to keep in contact with those not right in front of you.
You're right. You're right. I'm already preparing some Christmas stuff for my family. I mean, even though I just saw him not that long ago on that haul down to Minnesota, it's still rather good to send things on the actual holiday, or at least near the holiday. You know how shipping is.
Lucas actually looks quite inquisitive at you and simply says, "No, go on. Tell me about it. How do you prepare for the holidays with your family?"
Well, okay, here's the deal with shipping.
Mhm.
You have to understand that while they have crews to work pretty much over the holiday, that poor guy, whoever he is or gal, working the whole holiday away from their own family, it's still they're not heartless. It's a skeleton crew. They're working overtime. They're getting good pay. There just aren't so many of them. So you have to appreciate the holiday slowdown. It's both their busiest season and their slowest season. So it depends on where you're shipping from. I'm not quite on the rhythm from here yet, but I'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go at least a few days in advance. Now, obviously, nobody's going to deliver it to their doorstep day of, but as long as it gets there a day or two before, with a little note on top that says, "Don't open me until it's time," well, you're pretty much set.
All right, that's how you go ahead and like deliver stuff. What do you do with your family? What do you do with your family on Christmas? I know it's a little bit early to start talking about it. I mean, Thanksgiving's only like Thursday, but I'm curious.
Oh, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a different thing for my family. There's certain amounts of intermarriages between wings of my family and other families that have gone on in time, and those, while we all love each other very much, can lead to tensions between peoples who are both of mine and of Kali's wing of the family. So, you know, people intermarry, very big similarities between these wings of the families, but still a lot of big deals. I still remember a big get-together on Thanksgiving there was no cutlery allowed because of a supposed incident in '97, and there was a whole list of words and phrases that you couldn't say right there on the wall that apparently was long and storied and annotated with the dates and reasons why. And then, even then, you're sitting down and, we're supposed to be getting together. But instead of what happens is you just have this huge tension because everybody's left their tools outside the room, but we're also still a bunch of rough and tumble people, and you just got these folks giving each other the hairy eyeball because he said this or she said that, and then somebody calls somebody a nasty name even though there's a thing right on the wall, and then the table gets broken in half and there's a big hullabaloo and you can never get the stains out of the carpet. Very, very trying. But Christmas is a little better. I still remember a day where my big brother Benjamin, he got for me one of the nicest things anybody's ever got to me. He managed to get his hands on, oh boy, I really regretted having to give this thing away as a gift because of a little foul up later in my life. He got me a tactical hatchet. It was the nicest thing. The steel was perfect, the edge was good, the balance was good. I was even pretty sure I could throw it with some accuracy. And I had this tactical hatchet. It was the nicest thing anybody's ever got for me. And this is compared even to my mum, and she has some thoughtful gifts.
Maeve is doing her best not to snicker through this because Olaf's way of talking just makes her so happy.
Huh. Seems like you got good relations with all different sides of the families. Yours, Callie's, Maeve's over here. At least you're working on it.
Oh, yeah, I'm working on it. With Callie's, we'll call it distant relatives that have get-togethers. There's still a lot of old bad blood that we're trying to work through, but at least we're trying to work through it as a family.
And you, Maeve, how do you celebrate the holidays?
Oh, we didn't really celebrate the traditional holidays.
I know for a fact. I know for a fact there's a holiday right on top of Christmas that you go ahead and enjoy.
And we did. It just wasn't quite the same as Christmas.
It doesn't matter. You got together. You did something together as a family. Tell me about it.
Yes, we did. She sticks her tongue out. I don't know. I kind of like leaving you with the crazy idea that all those weird druid people like to get naked and dance under the moon.
Takes a scrap piece of paper and a pencil, starts drawing. Go on.
Well, I mean, we do, but not for that celebration.
I think it would be pretty dang cold, right?
Yep.
So what do you do instead?
Stop making me look things up. Just take a moment.
Do 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 do.
In the meantime, Olaf has finished his coffee, but that was a pretty good cup of coffee, and he's pretty hungry. He might want some pastries. He approaches the counter.
You approach the counter. The baristas brace themselves.
Oh, hey, he glances in at all of these tasty treats. I mean, they're kind of expensive, but some of them look worth it. Okay, so can I get that strawberry strudel, and that apple strudel, and that cinnamon apple strudel?
They go ahead and look at all this strudel and says, "You can have whatever you want, man. You can have all the stuff, man."
Oh, no, no, just one of each would be fine.
Okay, we can get you one of each. And quite gingerly go down under the counter with the spatula type things and start to fish out each of the strudels, all its different, fruit fillings. Starts placing into a bag, not leaving your sight, or not keeping their eyes from you at any point or another. Starts to walk over to the register, looks at you again.
And Olaf's like, all right, how much should that be?
Oh, 1051, he says as he finally actually punches it into the register, thinking that you
Oh,
will actually pay, hoping, pleading with himself that you will pay.
oh, okay then. And he pays the 1051, and the change he gets back combined with a couple like loose ones get left in the tip jar. Thank you kindly.
Go ahead, and he waves at you, but it's very, very much that, oh, please, please, never come back again wave.
Oh, too bad for you, barista. Too bad for you. And Olaf, already eating his bounty of strudels made of sugar rended from terror, returns to the table.
And as he does, Maeve is going on about the winter solstice and about how they celebrate the rebirth of the sun on the shortest day of the winter.
Go on.
She refuses adamantly to go into details because neener, you're not a druid.
Looks at you, simply says, if I go ahead and tell you the reason why these days are so short, and explain to you several reasons why other people are stupid and their different theories, will you tell me?
She'll tap her chin. Very thoughtfully. I mean, I really don't see why you're so interested, but I mean, traditionally we don't especially just go out talking about what we do. I mean, unless you want to come along next time and join in.
Actually, you know what? If that's an invitation, I'll take it.
She shrugs. I don't see why you can't.
Excellent. Reasons that the day is so short is simply because the Earth has gone ahead and tilted itself, at least on the northern hemisphere, away from the sun. It has absolutely nothing to do with the distance from the Earth to the sun, which fluctuates at about 10% on the maximum. I mean, every single orbit in the solar system is actually elliptical, not really circular. Most people get that confused.
Well, okay.
Luke's just gonna look at the strudels. You gonna eat all that?
And Olaf looks back at Lucas. Do you want me to go back up there and get more?
Let me save you the trouble, good sir. Goes ahead and gives you a smile.
Oh, aren't you nice? Thank you, Lucas. Really.
What do you want? And looks at Maeve. What would you like?
Well, thanks to that somewhat accented sense of smell, one of those is cinnamon apple, and cinnamon is delicious. And so she'll kind of look at him and look at Lucas almost as if she feels guilty letting him buy her food, and then finally goes, well, I mean, the cinnamon apple one smells really good.
Very well. And should you like it, looks at Olaf, I can go ahead and give you a repeat of everything here.
Oh no, I'll be good with this. And he fishes out a little more money to pay for the other pastries.
Alright, fair enough. go ahead and be a little bit of a fairy boy. And this particular interaction with the barista goes swimmingly better, because this guy does not have the curse upon him. But he does go ahead and give very, very much misgivings about that guy with all the tattoos. Lucas just goes ahead and goes through it, because he's had to do this many, many times. Says, no, he's actually a really nice guy once you get to know him. He's not that scary at all. Barista looks in your direction, looks back with a terror upon his face. Just give me the pastries. Money is exchanged, pastry and goods are exchanged, and Lucas returns with, the apple cinnamon, whatever May might have wanted to have. It smells delicious. And Lucas, for his part, is just chowing down on the cinnamon scone.
Oh, Maeve is thrilled. She will accept it with grace and start nibbling like girls do.
Olaf has none of this grace. Watching Olaf work is like watching what a thresher does to corn. There's a bit of a mess. Things are flung about, but eventually the job is done. The food is processed. It sleeps now inside of his belly.
Maeve will doubtlessly be in awe of his literal wolfing of food.
Looks to
And
me.
keep nibbling on hers.
So how are you
What?
settling down in a new place?
No, Kelly's really nice. She doesn't seem to mind me being there at all, even though we're sharing a room.
From what I can tell, she's very welcoming and opening to people that she finds delightful.
Well, she also says she misses her sister a lot, and I think this kind of helps.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Nod, nod. But yeah, it's been nice. I don't get yelled at every time I come home. Nod, nod.
I'm sure your old landlord wasn't that terrible.
You know, you say that, but you weren't there when he yelled at me. Almost on the daily. Or got on my case. Almost on the daily.
Well, we can be glad that the living conditions have definitely changed and improved for the better, right? I mean,
Yep.
it's okay. I know I built that thing. I know I built the bed. I know it's an IKEA bed, but it's a good bed, right?
Yep, and it's my bed.
Yeah.
Not just the random spare bed that happens to already be there.
Totally did not bang on any of the plywoods and have to replace them. Totally did not do that.
Olaf kind of snickers a bit.
Actually got a chance to meet a few of the other roomies, actually.
Hmm?
Yeah. A few of the roomies. They were actually... They're pretty cool people. They're kind of understanding. Willing to look at my particular situation, see things from my perspective.
Oh.
Yeah. Also knew Miss Brennan. Understood who she was to me. Yeah. Your roomies are really nice people.
Yep. Wouldn't want to live with them if they weren't.
Considering you've only been around for a few days, maybe you're not just the best judge of character. Gives a wicked, evil grin.
Hey, I didn't get a chance to really talk to Travis before he moved me in, so I'm not taking responsibility for that. And I'll have you know, I'm a fantastic judge of character.
No, you're a terrible, awful judge of character. Lucas says, extending his, well, actually, the well, let's see, where is this cinnamon scone? The cinnamon scone is on his side. He goes ahead and reaches out. He does the really much the belly rub thing on the corner of the table and just sort of lays out. No, you're a terrible judge of character.
Blink. You're weird.
And you're weird.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're not as weird as me, but you're still weird.
No, you're weirder.
But that's what I said.
And you know who's the most normal out of all of us? Points at Olaf, who is probably in mid-scarf.
And he like looks up like a dog looks up in the middle of eating something. The food's still in his mouth. What? I don't. I really don't think we're going to be pointing to me as the source of normalcy in this situation.
Goes ahead and shakes his head. Oh, yeah. You know, if you guys are done with your stuff, we can go ahead and move this back over to Callie's.
Well, it was my intention to walk her home, so that's fine. And then you guys get to see Turbo Thresher. Because he's not going to eat and walk, no. Instead, what you're treated to is this... I mean, like, unbeknownst to Olaf, Maeve's seen what Black Hole can do. And so she might be kind of reminded of this as suddenly is gone. The rest of the food's gone. There's crumbs in his beard. He knows there's crumbs in his beard, not from actual feeling, but from the very fact that this has happened before. So he like friggin' dust beats his own beard with his meaty paw and friggin' gets up.
You notice that Lucas is going to go ahead and start to take all the spare wrappers and the trays, collect them all, throw the wrappers in the trash, collect the trays, and put the trays in the tray recollection bin. I don't know what to call it. I really don't care. And yeah, we'll proceed to shimmy out with his cinnamon scone wrapped up tight in a little bit of a napkin.
Only one scone survived.
And now the party walks to Callie's.
Walk, and you're walking, and you're walking, and walking. Where do we find ourselves?
Well, I'm assuming at Callie's apartments.
Describe the surrounding, because you're going to be describing the surrounding quite a lot.
It's your usual generic apartment building, really. Albeit it has been painted a pale pink color, which really doesn't seem to suit Callie but so much, but so be it. There's cars lining the streets, and alongside there is a small garden with a wrought iron looking gate around it. Very well kept little garden, actually. And of course, the classic fire escape up the entire front of the building.
Lucas has to stop himself before continuing on past the gate towards the fire escape.
I'm going to roll to see if Olaf notices this.
A fire escape, my one true home.
One success.
Let's see if I can counter that. How to use wits. Just base wits. Nope. Not a bunch. Just a fail. You notice a slight misstep.
He pats Lucas on the shoulder. No.
No. I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it. I was not gonna do it.
Nope.
I wasn't gonna do it.
You thought about it.
And while they're out there, he kind of glances to Maeve. When you were doing the wobble, that from a family thing?
Huh? Oh no. I was I was out with Kachina, and we talked to a whole bunch of spirits, and
Shut the fuck up!
Inside!
Runs inside.
Oh.
Thankfully.
My God. No, Mabe.
Nope. Going inside. You can come too. Going inside.
Go inside.
Oh, for the love of... Pinches the bridge of his nose and goes inside. Ugh. Thankfully for the party, Olaf knows where Callie's apartment is quite well. Even before he was friends with Callie, he had to visit here once before during the course of an investigation, so he knows where it's at. While Mabe is flown ahead of them,
Well, she'll stay to unlock the door for them.
yeah, they get in.
And she'll close and lock the front door to the apartment behind them, and immediately go, sorry, I'm used to staying on the step. Did I keep forgetting?
Well, don't fucking do that. I mean, we're lucky that it's the middle of the night. Alright, real lucky. And the fact that basically nobody was around is why I'm gonna let this one go with a warning also. Well, you're fucking new. No damage done. Don't do it again. Now, since what you just told me is that, well, our dear superior took you on a little walkie-talkie outside of the sept, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't initially leave the sept, but we went into the Umbra, and we were all the way over on Long Island all of a sudden. So we had to ride back.
Okay, so here's how this is going to go down. Before you leave the apartment tomorrow morning, bright and early, of course, Callie's going to get a look at you. You're going to make sure that Callie gets a look at you. Real close look, and you're going to tell her what you were up to, so she knows what to look for. And before you so much as set foot on the sept proper, somebody who knows how to cleanse is going to cleanse you, just in case, just to be sure, because that's protocol, and we follow protocol unless we want Uncle Chase's to get a headache, because when he gets a headache, he gives the rest of us a headache, and his headaches hurt a lot.
Lucas is just gonna go ahead and like nod. It's just a standard procedure. They go ahead and wave the stick around, and they go ahead and just wave you in. I've had it done to me so many times before. I'm surprised people are surprised about that one.
Well, I'm going to have to call ahead to get somebody to do it to me before I can sleep in my own bed. Trust me.
Wait, what? Really? Why?
Because I went off, and now I'm back.
Oh yeah, that's right. Standard procedure. Everybody gets waved in with the cleansing.
I can't really uphold the rules if I'm not following myself.
True enough. But now that we're like away from pioneers, looks over at Maeve, gets the sketchbook out. Do go on, please. Winter solstice.
She'll dance it all off. He summoned a black hole, and it hurt. That's what happened.
Oh my... On a scale of 1 to 10, how fucked up are you right now?
Like, I don't know, maybe a 2?
And you said that a spirit, I imagine, of some strength I am not learned in spirits is responsible for this?
Yeah. I'm really glad that I slipped back at the very beginning, because it looked like Kachina hurt more than I did.
Great, wonderful, beautiful. Well, I'm not going to regret doing this. And he pulls out a Gaia's breath. And I guess I'll spend the note. He lives on Sept. He'll get that gnosis back in a jiffy.
Mm-hmm.
Spend the gnosis, and I can't remember the roll for its actual healing factor.
I believe it either works one of two ways. One, you roll your gnosis at a set difficulty, or two, you just go ahead and spend the gnosis, and the effect should be that you regain 4 health levels. People can correct me if I'm wrong.
Either way, he pops the gnosis bubble and uses the effect, as he's seen Emmett do to him, directly on Mabe instead of himself.
She will let out a sigh of relief, considering that that was ag damage and it probably would have taken a long time to heal. She will look much relieved. Thank you.
Look, people above me have done it for me. It's only right I do it for you. We gotta take care of each other because, frankly, each other's all we got.
Smile.
And he gives the cub a pat on the head before looking at Lucas. Now, Mabe's had a big day. I think we're going to let her get her beauty sleep before she has to be up at 5 in the morning.
Totally. That is totally what is going to happen.
That is totally what's going to happen. And he puts his arm around Lucas's shoulders. Let us go and walk back to our mutual home. And he begins.
We don't have to go right now, do we? And you go ahead and start to lead him away. Come on, it's just a little bit. There's pizza in the oven, the refrigerator. We can go ahead and make a cheesy ice cream. Another step. Why are you doing this to me, man? Why are you doing this to me?
I'm going to put it this way, young man. I'm tired. She's tired. If I leave, even though she's in a safe place with my wonderful big sister who I love so much, if big sister wakes up and finds you alone with Mabe in the middle of the night, what do you think is going to fucking happen?
We will never know until it exactly transpires.
And we never shall know. What a wonderful evening. And he just keeps leading on.
Maeve just does this sad little wave at one of the points when Lucas lands back.
Yes, there is a very, very sad, puppy-eyed glance back. You could go ahead and give your wave. Oh, but Olaf is quite insistent.
Oh, Olaf, what a kind cousin you are. Oh, Olaf, what a thoughtful cousin you are. He opens the door. Oh, Olaf, aren't I glad that you're looking out for me? And, you can hear this trail of bullshit all the way down the hall.
All right, then. I guess as we go ahead and start to part ways and fragment our characters even more, unless there's something for Lucas and Olaf to start talking about.
Oh, no. He'll even, as long as he can be sure Lucas is slightly ahead of him, drop the whole arm around the shoulders thing once he's sure that the kid's not going to try to make a break for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. He won't make a break for it in your presence.
Look, there's only one Olaf. There's only so much you can do.
I know. I remember this particular conversation before. All right, then. If you're good with that, we can go ahead and end our scene there.
I'm good.
All right. And we go ahead and end our scene. Well, this is mundane life. This is happenings outside the sept. These are the things that occur when people aren't canoodling with spirits, bigger spirits than anybody could ever believe could exist. This is the thing that happens when you're not on Sept trying to ride a little bit of carousel, trying to reach out for the iron bar, which is also something that some of us had planned, but nobody is begging, nobody is moaning, nobody is pleading. We are all enjoying this fantastic scene. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for playing along. And until next time, always, always, always thank your STs.